London calling, and I very much hope you're ready. You'd better be, because this could be special. Arsenal against Manchester United, two of the biggest clubs in England, and they're about to lock horns next, live on EA TV. Always a terrific venue to watch a football match. I'm talking about the Emirates Stadium here in North London. My name is Derek Ray, and my commentary partner on this occasion.
Welcome back to Armchair Armory, and first of all, a slight apology. Obviously, I didn't do any coverage apart from a sim for the Fulham game. I think I mentioned previously on the reaction to Palace that I wasn't going to be able to watch the game. I could only listen to it on the radio, so I didn't feel with these, as I've probably mentioned a few times, with these 3 o'clock games, I can't really find a means of watching them. So it's just a case of like listening to it on the radio or listening to it on Arsenal.com, and then coming on a preview for the next game to kind of talk about what I thought from what I saw from the highlights and stuff like that. So before I talk about what is the upcoming game, which is Manchester United at home, let me just say a few words about the Fulham game. So it felt like, by the time Fulham scored their first goal, I hadn't even turned on the radio to listen to it. I think I was just about to head out to go for a walk or something like that. And there was no inkling that, before I'd even left the house or the flat, there was a notification saying it was 1-0 to Fulham. And normally, as we've seen in fixtures like Southampton at home last season and Bournemouth at home last season, it's always an uphill struggle to come back from conceding an early goal or to get something out of it. And we did that. We fought really, really hard, particularly second half, to get back into the game. A Saka penalty after that was awarded after a foul on Fabio Vieira, and then another great cross from Fabio Vieira to set up Nketiah to make it 2-1, and we conceded a really stupid goal. These defensive errors we keep having are starting to get quite annoying. I think we were well capable of winning that game and taking all 3 points, but similar to last season, we let Fulham back into the game, and we let Fulham take the initiative and take a point off of us. Now, yeah, it is frustrating, don't get me wrong, it is frustrating that we drop points. I am a little bit concerned about, even though I don't necessarily think we've been playing badly as such, I don't even think that we played badly against Fulham. I think that it just comes down to individual errors, and I think that to some extent the system that Arteta's using at the moment doesn't work or isn't working very well, or doesn't work for certain situations. You notice when Vieira came on and Ben White and Thomas Partey moved into their kind of preferred places from last season, that we played a lot better. And it's one of those things that's frustrating in that sense. But I still don't think we've necessarily. I don't necessarily think we played badly in this game. From what I heard and what I saw, I don't think we played badly. I just think we gifted them 2 chances, and I admit, the Partey at right back thing is really, really weird, and Gabriel not starting games is quite concerning. I know that the British transfer window closes tomorrow at 11. I'm recording this on the 31st of August. So after this recording, it will be the 1st of September, and that's when the transfer window closes. So we're yet to see what happens there. But there's a lot of theories that he might be leaving, and that Saudi has turned his head. Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that that's not true, and that Arsenal don't want to sell him. But it's It is worrying because this is the guy that started pretty much every game for us last season in all competitions, and you know, played in pre-season as well, and you know, start of the season hasn't played once, featured off the bench, but he didn't play at all against Fulham, and that is a little bit worrying because I don't know, I don't think the Partey at right back thing is going to be sustainable throughout the season. But there's something I have to get off my chest that I've been stewing on for a long time, and it might be because there's a lot of crazy shit going on in my personal life at the moment, and I'm a little bit on edge. But the amount of overreaction that I've seen from Arsenal fans is, I'm going to swear, and I apologise, is fucking embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing to see people already saying Arteta out, Arteta doesn't know what he's doing, get rid of all the players, Trossard shit, blah, 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 after 3 games. And then you see them contradict themselves, you know, on the YouTube channel that makes out their heads of the fan base, sitting there going, oh, it's unbelievable, Robbie, it's unbelievable, oh, Arteta out, blah, blah, blah. Well, they're not really saying Arteta out, that's probably being a bit too much embellishment, but like they're saying things like I'm worried, I'm concerned, oh, Havertz, send Havertz back to Chelsea, blah blah blah. And then in that same breath they'll go, yeah, but it's only 3 games. And it's like, well, why are you complaining then? Why are you complaining if it's only 3 games? The time to complain is when it gets to 10, 12, 15 games and we're still, you know, dropping points week in, week out. That's when you need to start worrying. That's when you need to start thinking, can Arteta still carry on? Not after 3 games. And this is what pisses me off about this fan base. This is what it makes me embarrassed to be an Arsenal fan sometimes, is when you see people on those channels, and I mean, no disrespect to Robbie, his intentions are always good, I think he's just being an Arsenal fan. But some of the people on there that he has on there, just I don't know, like, it's almost as if their job has to become to react now, to just like when something happens they react. When we win a game, we're exactly the same as Man United fans in a way, except when good things happen, we don't celebrate about it for very long, but we sort of do have that thing that Man United fans have, that when we win a game, we'll act as if like we're going to win the league and that everything's hunky-dory and that we'll be fine and we're the best team in England and all this kind of stuff, and Thomas Partey is the best defensive midfielder in the world, and then all this rubbish. And then when we lose, it's like everyone has to be sacked. You know, somebody has to be blamed. Somebody has to be culpable for the fact that we dropped 2 points against Fulham. Yes, we should have won. Yes, we were perfectly capable of one. I think we played well enough to win, but you know, the mistakes is what cost us essentially. And I'm just fed up with every single, if this is how it's going to be, that every single time, and I was saying this when the whole Arteta out thing was happening, I was saying this when the Emery out thing was happening, even though with Emery it was coming to a point where it needed to finish. There's a point where you couldn't defend him anymore. And I just need to sneeze, hang on, sorry about that. Yeah, I just had to sneeze. Anyway, yeah, even with Wenger, like, yes, it got to a point where it was like, I think we need to move on from Arsene Wenger now. Same with Emery, but the same thing was there. The same thing was there, that every single time we dropped points, or every single time we lost a game, or every single time we didn't play well, there was outrage. I even felt that there was outrage after we beat Palace, after we beat Nottingham Forest. People were complaining and saying, "Oh, we're winning, but we're not playing as well as we did last season." It's like, well, lightning doesn't strike twice. It was never a guarantee that we were going to be challenging City for the league, and it's still too early to tell anyway. My approach to football is always, let's see what happens. Wait and see what happens before you say anything. You know, when rival fans are making all these stupid claims about their teams, and when our fans are making stupid claims about their teams, I just sit there and wait, and I'm like, let's see what happens, because you're going to make yourself look like a tit if this goes balls up. Like, if what you've predicted doesn't happen, you're going to make yourself look like a tit. And this is partly why I think people overreact, because they go on these platforms and they say things like, oh, I reckon Arsenal are going to win the league. I reckon Arsenal are going to batter Fulham 4-0, and then it doesn't happen, and they're like, oh shit, now people are going to abuse me on Twitter, or X as it's called now, and that's it. And then my reputation's fucked. It's like, just get over yourself, seriously. Like, just calm down and stop overreacting over everything. It's just embarrassing that I have to read social media and I have to go on YouTube and see people moaning after 3 games and thinking that we're going to get relegated or something like that. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, I've been talking for like 10 minutes and I still haven't got on to the Man United game yet, but I had to get that off my chest. It's just so annoying. Like, every single time that we have a negative result, this overreaction and meltdown of the fan base seems to happen. Not even just on the pitch, off the pitch. We sign Havertz, everyone loses their mind. We don't sign, who is a player we didn't sign this summer or last summer, when we didn't sign Martinez or someone like that. There's a meltdown. Just fucking calm down and just let things happen. Like, there's nothing you can do to change things. There's nothing you can do or say that the club, unless it's like to do with the money you pay, nothing you do in terms of club business is ever going to be affecting the club. Like, they're not going to turn around and go, oh, this person on AFTV said we should sell Havertz, so we're going to do that now. You're entitled to your opinion, but don't act as if it's like gospel. Seriously, do not act like it's gospel. Just people are just negative for the sake of it. I think a lot of people just do it because, you know, they're known for it now. The other thing I wanted to quickly mention was our Champions League group has been announced. The Champions League draw was today. So Arsenal have been drawn with Sevilla, PSV Eindhoven and Racing Club de Lens. Okay group, very Europa League-ish. I think the Sevilla will probably be the hardest game there. I know that Sevilla away will probably be really hard. PSV, you know, we beat them at home, lost to them away. We got absolutely trounced by them last season at the Philips Arena. So, you know, that might be tough. And Lens, I don't really know too much about, so we'll have to see. But I think in terms of home fixtures, we should beat them. It's a decent group. If you compare it to like Newcastle's group, which I think is Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund and AC Milan, I think they'll be lucky to finish third and end up in the Europa League places, to be honest. But that will be interesting, seeing teams like Milan and PSG and Dortmund go into St James's Park, go into wet, crazy Scotsmen with their heads bashed in Newcastle. Sorry, but yeah. But yeah. So, and that's another thing. Like, I think he's an alright presenter. He's a bit cheesy, but why is Cecil from AFTV's answer to everything is always just sign more players? He's as bad as, like, you know, these politicians that we have that say, oh, just build more houses. If we want to fix the housing problem, just build more houses. Like, it's not as simple as just sign more players. Because he was saying something like, oh yeah, in January we can strengthen the squad. It's like, it's not as easy as just sign more players. Like, you've got to have the balance of buying and selling. That's how profit margins work. I'm not saying that I'm any sort of business expert or anything like that, but still. But yeah, so Manchester United. So I have to be honest. I am, despite everything I've just said, I am a little bit worried about this game, because this is the kind of game where we can lose it in a flash. You know, the last couple of seasons that we've played Manchester United early in the season, normally it's at Old Trafford. They've normally been second best, but they've just caught us on the break and had good chances, and they've taken their chances. You know, the last time we played them, Martinelli had a goal disallowed very early on in the game, and they went on to win that game 3-1. And it was a flattering scoreline for them. Like, they were second best throughout the game, but they just caught us on the break twice to make it 3-1. And this FIFA sim that you're watching now kind of played out like that as well, which is quite interesting. And I'm worried that will happen again. And if we've got this whole Partey at right back thing, and him floating into midfield and leaving that left hand side or yeah, that left hand side free. But yeah, we're in trouble basically. We're going to be leaking goals essentially, and it's not ideal, and it's not a team that you want to leak goals to. I mean, they haven't been great so far this season. You know, they've won 2, lost 1. They just about got over the line with against Wolves, and they just about got over the line with a kind of fortunate penalty against Nottingham Forest, and obviously they got battered by Spurs. So, you know, they're due a win, and it's just, you know, the luck of the footballing gods that they'll get a win against us at the Emirates. Because yeah, even though I say calm down, I do think we're not playing. We haven't reached our full potential yet, or we haven't reached that sort of level that we were at last season. And I think that comes down to 2 things. One is that I think with the injury to Timber, I think what Arteta had planned to do, he isn't able to do anymore. And 2, I think the players last season pretty much played with each other all throughout pre-season, and therefore had a kind of camaraderie with themselves. And this time that hasn't happened. Arteta's basically been tinkering throughout the process. So it's catch-22, because teams don't gel straight away. You know, like Xhaka's gone now, so that's a missing piece of the puzzle. And Rice and Havertz have come in, so they've got to gel into the team. So I don't think it's as easy just to say, well, Havertz was shit at Chelsea, therefore he's going to be shit here. I just think it's going to take time for him to gel. To be honest, I don't think it's as simple as you know, he's a bad player, and that's what I'm saying. You just need to calm down and just let's see what happens. If he carries on playing like this throughout the season, then yeah, then you can say it's a flop. But only 3 games in, and you know, I think he played all right against Forest. I think he played all right against City in the Community Shield. So I don't know what the fuss is about so far. I think it's just too early to judge him. In terms of the score, I mean, I've seen a lot of people saying that they think the predicted lineup is going to be similar to how it was last season, with, you know, the back 4 of White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, and then the midfield of Partey, Ødegaard and Rice. I don't think it's going to be that. I think we're going to see exactly the same team as last week, unfortunately. One thing with Arteta is that he's stubborn, and he'll keep doing something until it works. And if he does play that, I have a very bad feeling about the game. I haven't really spoken to Stefan about it, who's appeared on this channel, the Man United fan, my good friend. But like, yeah, I'm worried. I am worried about the game, because I'm worried that Arteta is going to play this like bodge system that he's been playing. And also, you know, like it's just fitting that Man United would come to us after like having an indifferent start to the season and beat us 3-1 or something like that. I'm going to say, because we're both kind of under par at the moment. I mean, we're playing slightly better than them, but like, I still think we're both under par. I'm going to be really, really on the fence here and just say I reckon it's going to be a 0-0 draw, a boring 0-0 draw. I hope it's an Arsenal win. My heart is telling me it's an Arsenal win, but the realistic side of me is saying no, it's probably going to be a draw, or United are probably going to sneak this. But then again, we have in the past like 3, 4, 5 years, we have done quite well against them at the Emirates, so who knows. Right, I'm going to leave it there, because otherwise you won't hear any of this, the audio from the FIFA stream, and yeah, FIFA sim. So I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, I'll be back again after the game on Sunday. So until then, take care and stay safe.
Good goals.
Potentially one to savour. Arsenal get this game underway. Options in the middle. And a chance, Ødegaard! My goodness, that save, fully stretched he was. One for his own highlights reel. Oh, super header, but the goalkeeper was up to the task. Rashford, fine pass. Not quite the accuracy he was looking for. That'll be a goal kick. Could be dangerous. Chance to take the lead. Oh, yes! 1-0 it is, and it doesn't come as a huge surprise. Here's Eriksson. And in it goes from Martial. And a good challenge to bring that attack to an end. And Rashford rattling it home. And in all likelihood, that is game over. So little time left for a response. Gabriel Jesus. Oh, really sound goalkeeping.
Well, that's such a good save, isn't it? How did he keep that one out?